What's going on, my trainer club? We are in Nashville, Tennessee, on the way up north to Chicago for Go Fest, and we have the Slaking Community Day coming this Saturday for everyone. So you know what time it is. It's time for me to break down everything you need to know to keep up on the Community Day to maximize everything that you possibly can. So welcome to the trainer club. Here we go. Post in the comments who is hyped for this Slakoth Community Day, because he's pretty rare for a lot of us. Either you're hatching him or you're catching him under normal conditions, boosted in the weather. He is going to be a good Pokemon to utilize, especially for those people that do not have a lot of his candy. So drop in the comments and let me know how stoked you are for that. And then of course, slap a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so I can keep providing you more content. So for the Community Day, we are going to be looking from Saturday, June 8th, from 3 to 6 p.m. local time, wherever you are. And if you haven't seen, I'm sure you have, the Slakoth is going to be a shiny pink color, so you are definitely going to notice when you get this. I will actually be playing in downtown Chicago. We are doing one of two locations. We are either doing it at Grant Park as a test, or I am going to be at Lincoln Park Zoo. So we will see what we got going on when I get there. I can't wait to make a video or at least live stream a little bit of that for you guys, because I appreciate you guys. And then we actually just got the new move set. Everybody was like, please give Slaking some type of move that is going to give him some damage with his fast move, but unfortunately, we did not get it. We got Body Slam, but Body Slam puts him up there for a pretty powerful damaging normal Pokemon. You have that 3-bar move, so it's going to help you out. Really, the only thing I use him for is gym defenders, because he sits at the top of my bag. I just go ahead and I pump him up and I drop him in the gym. So that's all I really use him for. He actually doesn't do any damage, or a very minimal amount of damage, with that yawn move. So unfortunately, we did not get that replaced, but that is what it is right now. So make sure to stick around towards the end of the video, because that's when we're going to cover how effective is Body Slam as a move. Because it is a normal move, so it's going to give him a stab effectiveness. Play Rough is still a really good move set, so it's good to have that. But if you can have both of them, if you feel like utilizing this, you can do that. The other thing we are going to check out is it actually worth powering this guy up? So we'll do that at the end, but on to the top tips to help you max out. Let's do it. So the number one thing I want to cover is going to be the bonus. We are going to have 1/4 the amount of distance to hatch our eggs. So this means you need to have super incubators. So if you need to get them, make sure to buy them. If you have them stacked up, we are going to make sure to put them on immediately. So number one, we have to absolutely max out on these eggs. So I have been saving up the 10Ks. I know I talked to you guys before about this, but leading up to the next Community Day or anything like that, what I do, even if it's not for the distance, I like to hatch them all in bunches. So I save up the 10Ks. I actually have 8 10Ks right now. I'm hoping to get one more to be able to utilize this during the Community Day. At 3 o'clock, I am going to pop every single egg, right? Because I have my timer set up and I'm going to be ready to go. And I'm going to run the star pieces probably the entire time, but at least until I hatch all these eggs, every 30 minutes, being consistent as possible. If you're feeling frisky and you want to keep going, every time you hatch those egg bunches, make sure to get your eggs going. Make sure to incubate them again if you want to keep doing it, because you're going to be able to do this. So on to my number 2 tip. What I would suggest doing is the area. It's all about your surroundings, where you're with, who you're playing with, and most importantly, what's around you. Are you in a park that's going to set you up for success? Do you have a lot of Pokestops? Do you have gyms that you're golden so you can get more items? So that is what I'm going to recommend you do. I always say this: if you can't be in an area, make sure to go to Walmart. The other thing I want to make sure you do is to clear out your bag. You do not want to have excess bag as far as your space as well as your Pokemon go. You want to be able to get items. So if you have excess stuff in there, maybe some revives or potions that you're hanging on to, make sure to clear that out. You also want to stack up, especially if you want Slakoth candy. You're going to want to get as many of the pineapple berries going in as possible. However many you want to catch, you're going to double that candy if you have the pineapple berries. So it's going to be super effective to be able to utilize that, especially since he's rare. Most of us only really get him when we are hatching him. And then of course, I always recommend having the Ultra Balls and the Great Balls stocked up so you can utilize these as much as possible. So going into the day, what we want to do, here's tip number 3. So for the lures, you can use the magnetic, the glacial, or the mossy lures to let them last for 3 hours. So this is a great time to have somebody pop one of each and have them go the entire time, so whoever wants to can go over to them. You're going to see the different things coming up. You're going to see either rocks, you're going to see snow, or you're going to see grass coming from the lures, and then you can go over there and evolve your Pokemon if you want to. Great time to do this. I suggest at least one per downtown area so that those people can go and maximize. The other thing I want to note is do not catch Pokemon in the immediate time before, as well as do not spin the stops and complete the tasks. Why I say that is because the Pokemon that were there before 3 p.m. could change into Slakoths. So then you could get more Slakoths, but if you caught those already, they obviously won't respawn. They're just gonna change over for the potential. As far as the tasks go, the tasks switch over so that you can keep getting Pineapple Berries, Ultra Balls, and Great Balls the entire time. That's why I suggest do not touch the tasks in the stops around the area that you're gonna utilize. Number 4 is gonna be about items, everything about items. So if you're going to use star pieces, if you're going to use incense, which I highly recommend the incense, and then if you're going to use a lucky egg to get a little bit more XP, I'm probably not gonna do it except for the beginning. So the beginning, I pop my egg at 3, and I do all of my friendships, or even right before. So you can pop it a little bit before, hit all your friendships, and then go right in. I also clear my bag out with gifts because you're gonna spin a lot of Pokestops during this day. So every time my alarm goes off, I'll go check my items if I didn't remember, and I'll send out my 10 gifts as quick as possible. I try to prioritize this. You could even nickname these people that you want to send the gifts to so you don't get confused, you don't waste time, but I'm okay wasting a few minutes in order to send a few gifts. That's okay for me. So just make sure to know that you're gonna need 6 of everything if you're gonna use the star piece, the lucky eggs, as well as the incense. So you can also use a melton box if you want to do that because it acts as an incense. You cannot do both at the same time, but that is an option for you. I know there's a lot going on and a lot of Slakoths are gonna be everywhere, so may not be the best time, but know that it is a potential for you. So it's all about the items, and then with the items, you have to set up the timers. So set up the timers with the alarms for 3, 3:30, 4, 4:30, 5, 5:30, and 6. And then I would also set one up for 6:45, which is gonna be signaling you to evolve all your stuff. This is the time to evolve. You wanna have at least 15 minutes to evolve to get the exclusive move on all your Pokemon. And number 5 is gonna be appraising and trading. So for the appraising, I suggest taking the search string IV, which I'll drop in the comments, as well as in the description for you guys to copy it. If you're on the iPhone, you have to go in and set up the shortcut. If you want the shortcut, you basically go into settings, go into keyboards, you're gonna have to create a shortcut of your own. And then if you want to do it on the Android, you can just copy and paste it right in there. So that's the difference between the two phones. Android's direct and the iPhone is indirect, but you can still make it happen. Then you can just search that and it will pop up any of the Slakoths that you have that are 100% IVs. And then as far as the trading goes, you are going to want to make sure to trade right at 6. You're gonna wanna trade as many as you can. Preferably you trade with somebody that's at least 10 kilometers away from where you're at. So 10 kilometers away will give you 2 candies per trade, which is going to help you maximize on that. So it is going to be great for you to get the extra 2 candies, plus you're gonna be able to get a bunch of potential luckies. So trade as many as you possibly can, even if it's just 1 candy. Who cares about the candy? Get the luckies, and then you can evolve the luckies, and you can potentially power them up for half the Stardust, which is absolutely huge. And what I always suggest on Community Day is make sure to just evolve as many as you can, because if you want to power some up, save a little bit of candy, maybe like 300-400. But if you're doing something like me where you're going for at least 400 or 500, so I'm gonna have enough bag space for that. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you evolve all your good ones. You want to have these guys, but then evolve as many as you can because they're more valuable with the legacy moveset of the Body Slam than they're going to be as either a shiny baby or just a regular Slaking. So you want to have these shinies evolve to the Slaking with the legacy move because that is the most valuable asset that you can take away for trades from this event. Maybe for players that are new or maybe from players that couldn't play, this is gonna be valuable for you for trades. And if they don't, then you can always transfer them later. All right guys, so that's gonna do it. Make sure to number 1, focus on these eggs. Hatch those eggs, have the star pieces on. We're getting a 1/4 egg distance. Number 2, have your bags cleaned out, everything ready. Your timers are on, you're set up and ready to go. You have your search strings, copy and pasted, ready to go for you so you can check to see if you've caught 100% IV. And then also make sure to have your items ready, your alarms are up, your trades are set up with your friends for after, and get as many of those shinies as you possibly can and be in the most populated area that you possibly know.
All right, everyone, we are gonna check out the normal top DPS first off as far as where Slaking sits with his new move, Body Slam. So sitting up at the top, we have the Ambipom with the Scratch and Hyper Beam combination with the DPS of 12.946. Then we have Stantler, which is surprising, Tackle and Stomp. Then we have Wigglytuff with Pound and Hyper Meme at 10.933. Then we have Raticate with Quick Attack and Hyper Fang. And then sitting in the 5th spot, we have the Slaking with the Yawn Body Slam combination with a DPS of 10.571. And then moving onwards, which is the more important value that I always suggest that you guys check out, is the DPS and TDO combination. So sitting at the top, we have the Ambipom at a 603.8. So these values aren't super high, because some of the other Pokemon that we've seen, are in the thousands as far as this value goes. This one is just going to be at the top for normal, is going to be 603. When we're looking at Blissey, it gets a 479.4 as it sits in the second, just because it's a gym defender. So if we're talking about gym defenders, which is what I recommend using Slaking for, the Blissey is obviously going to beat it out, and then it obviously has a good amount of health as well, so it's kind of annoying to fight. But the Slaking with the Yawn Body Slam combination is going to have a value sitting in 3rd place at 468.9. So that brings to the conclusion, do we power this guy up? And as far as I can see, maybe if he got that fast move, but since he has Yawn and the Body Slam, pretty cool move, but in honesty, I wouldn't recommend using your Stardust on this guy. There's a lot more better things that you can use, especially since the normal type Pokemon are not super effective against anything. They're pretty much neutral. They do a lot of neutral damage, so I would just say no as of right now, but definitely get out there, get your Slakings, and get those shinies.
So now I'm gonna drop in how to skip the animation for the quick catch trick to help you maximize on catching.
Here we go, guys. We are going to learn how to do the quick catch trick in Pokemon Go. So the first thing we need to do is obviously locate a Pokemon. And this works for any type of ball. So go ahead and select the ball you want. And the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna push down on the ball tray and slide it over. Notice how my finger that pushed down on the ball tray is still on the screen and never lets go of the screen. So then with the other hand, this is going to take 2 hands, you can then pick the ball up. And notice when I do let go of the ball tray, it is going to pop out like that. So that's basically the premise of what we're doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a berry. And then for all the left hand throwing players, you can also do this with the left hand, which you're gonna put your right finger over the berry tray, and then you're gonna throw with your left finger. So first we're gonna do it with the right hand throwing player. So I pull that ball over, I go ahead and wind up, and I let go. And as I let go, you notice, boom, I pop the berry tray open by letting both fingers go, and the run button has popped up in the top left corner, and you go ahead and click that. So it was a little bit difficult to see there, but boom, look, the Oddish is in your bag. So that is the trick and the key. So here we're gonna do this with the Piplup. We're gonna go ahead and do it with a left-handed throw. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a berry, and then I am gonna go ahead and pull that berry tray over with my right finger, keeping my right finger on the screen, wind up, and then whenever I'm ready, it's a little hard for my left hand, go ahead and throw that and release it. And you can just click out right away, or you can wait until the 3 tricks and then go ahead and click in that top left for that run button, and boom, you caught that guy and he is sitting in your bag, that little Piplup right there. So that is how you do it. So the first thing we're gonna do is take our non-throwing hand and we're gonna place it on the tray ball. We're gonna pull it over. Once we pull it over, we're gonna take our other hand. So we have 2 hands on the screen and we're gonna wind up and throw. Once that happens, we let go of the ball and the tray comes out as shown in the box. Once that tray is out and we hit the Pokemon, we then click on the screen outside of the tray, which will then close the tray. So once the tray is closed, we can now click run from this Pokemon, because the run button has now glitched and is still up in the top left, so we don't have to see the shake screen anymore. And once I clicked run, I then click on the Abra and boom, I have an error message. And some of you may be like, what does that mean, having an error message on the screen when you click on a Pokemon? Did it despawn? The answer is, let's check our bag, boom, that Abra is now in our bag so that we have him and we did not have to watch the shake, 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 catch, then click OK type screen. So watch this in fast motion. This is real speed. Gonna go ahead and hit that Paris, click out. Gonna hold down on the ball tray, pull it over, throw it at the Ghastly, click out, run, and then go on to my next Pokemon. I'm gonna go ahead and use this for an Ultra Ball. pull over, click out. So this is real speed of how quickly I can catch these Pokemon. And I will show you in a second what my bag looks like. So here we go again. We're gonna hold the non-throwing thumb on the ball tray, let it go as you throw, after you throw it, once you hit the Pokemon. And some of you guys may want to watch this again just to make sure that you get the initial part. And as you see me click on these guys, those guys have already been caught. As you'll see in 1 second, there was a Nidoran here that I did not get. Boom, all gone. And there it is, each one of those Pokemon sitting in my bag. At that speed, you can encounter an incredible amount of shinies and candy all at the same time without having to compromise.
Thank you for tuning into the Trainer Club, guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm super hyped about this day. Being in Chicago for it, it's going to be off the chain. I am super, super excited. So thank you guys for being a part of the Trainer Club. I'll see you out there with those pink Slakoths.